Hi, I'm Torstein from Cinema Terror, and guess what? Amityville: The Awakening is finally being released. Amityville: The Awakening is the first theatrical released movie with the Amityville name attached to it since the 2005 remake The Amityville Horror. While we have had plenty of cheap, low-budget movies slapping on the name Amityville and making dumbasses like me paying to watch them, fans, if there are more out there than me that is, have been waiting for the arrival of a new Amityville movie with a decent budget behind it for years. Amityville: The Awakening first popped up 5 years ago under its first name, Amityville Lost Tapes. This was supposed to take the franchise into found footage territory, which I guess makes sense at the height of the found footage haunted house era. The project went through some changes, and gone were the found footage angle. Filming for this new version went on for 5 weeks in early 2014, but after several release date delays, they went into some reshoots in 2016 with hopes of a theatrical release in early 2017. That didn't happen, so instead we now finally get to see the film on video on demand and limited theatrical release later this month. So, was this worth the wait like several other long-delayed horror films? No. Amityville: The Awakening did the awful thing of just being boring. The story is very simple. We follow the young, hot, goth emo chick, Belle, played by Bella Thorne. She is moving into a new house with her little sister and their mom, Joanne. With them they also have Belle's twin brother James, who are in a coma. Soon after they move into the house, James starts to awake, and the more he comes to life, the more evil occurrences also start to happen around the house. You might say that they both awake together in The Awakening. Belle starts to learn the history of the house, and now has to find a way to get the family out of this godforsaken place before they all end up trapped there forever. Amityville: The Awakening is a mess of a film that clearly suffers from being tampered with for too long, with the original idea and vision washing away in the process. It fails in telling a coherent and interesting story, as it's just too simple and too much of things that we have already seen before in oh so other many haunted house movies over the last 10 years. Perhaps I would have been more forgiving of its thin plot if it had came out 3 or 4 years ago, as the subgenre of haunted houses, while being a favorite of mine, is becoming a bit tiresome at this point. For some weird reason, the movie takes place in a world that knows about the previous movies.
You ever see this? You recognize that house?
There are scenes, reshoots perhaps, that shows Belle interacting with 2 new friends who are there to tell her about the original book and both the original Amityville Horror from the 70s and the remake from 2005. These scenes don't feel like they belong in the same movie as the rest of the stuff, making the overall tone of the film be a bit too uneven.
Okay, so you've got the original 1979 film starring James Brolin and Margot Kidder. But just in case, I brought the Amityville 2, which is technically a prequel, so I don't know if you like that anyway. Then of course there's the remake.
No way. Yeah, remakes totally blow.
Agreed. All right, the original it is.
Instead of concentrating on the story, the focus is put on creating scenes where loud jump scares appear to remind the audience that they are watching a horror film and are supposed to be scared. It does the same mistake, in my book, that several other newer horror films also does by letting the setup only takes like 5 minutes before it goes into boo scary movie territory. There are a few scenes every here and now that does introduce some sort of creepy feeling, but they are often not followed through or interrupted by loud
You're the one who's gonna fucking die!
Loud noises. Bella Thorne has to carry the movie, as she is the only character that actually given some attention. She does a good job with the little she has to work with, but she looks a bit too much like a model instead of a regular teenage girl for me. She also didn't feel like the goth type of chick here, and I guess I would have rather wanted her to be a bit more shy or angsty, I guess. Jennifer Jason Leigh is misused in the role as the mother of the family, and you can feel zero motherly love from the start with the character, and I would have liked the character to have a different starting point considering where the character ends up. The most disappointing aspect of this entire film was the fact that I was highly anticipating this, as this is both written and directed by Franck Khalfoun, the guy who did the absolutely fantastic 2012 remake of Maniac. I can't believe that this generic and dull result was his original vision, and it would be interesting to hear him talk honest about his experience on this project and how much he strayed from what he was originally hoping to create. Amityville The Awakening is sadly a very dull film that you will struggle to keep your attention to while watching. I doubt I will remember anything about this in a year or two, and the worst movies are those who are easy to forget. There are a few good scenes that keeps it from being awful, and there are worse things to keep your eyes on than Bella Thorne for 80 minutes. But Amityville The Awakening only gets a 2 out of 5. Anyone else get a chance to see this film yet? I'm curious to hear what others think of it, even though I can't see this getting a lot of critical or fan praise. I'm a huge fan of the original first Amityville horror movie from the 70s. How do you rank it, and what about the rest of the series? Let me know about it in the comment section below, like, subscribe and all of that stuff, and I'll see you again next time.